I now recognize myself for 5 minutes of questions. Mr. Meyers, other cybersecurity providers, competitors of yours, have said that the access to the kernel, so much, how many updates you're pushing out daily, goes against industry standards and is it's not safe. What would you say to, in response to that?
I'm not aware of any industry standards that govern how or what to do with regards to any one operating system or best practice with that regard. I could tell you that when we launched CrowdStrike 13 years ago, we did so with the mission to stop bad things from happening to good people. And we have worked tirelessly in the last 13 years to ensure that our products, our services, and our intelligence information is the best possible product that our customers can consume. And I would say that we got it wrong in this case, and we are learning from what happened, and we've implemented changes to ensure that that doesn't happen again.
I understand that. And would you think now, because I believe you testified before, you do maybe a dozen a day updates, because that's what you do. You find a threat and you update the system to protect against that threat. You think you will still continue to do 12 a day, or as many as are needed, or will you be more, I don't even know if conservative is the right word, but more conservative in your approach on how many updates you will have daily?
We will continue to update our product with threat information as frequently as we need to in order to stay ahead of the threats that we're facing.
And in your belief that is access to the kernel as much as you have it, and updates as much as you have it, is needed for your client's cybersecurity?
I think, as we said earlier, that speed does matter in this domain in order to stay ahead of these threat actors. And the visibility that we get through the kernel, the performance that you gain through using the kernel, the ability to stop bad things, the enforcement mechanism that's provided through that kernel, and the anti-tamper to stop a threat actor. One of the threat actors that we track very closely is a group called Scattered Spider, who has been using techniques to elevate their privilege into the kernel in order to disable security tools on a regular basis. In order to stop that from happening, we will continue to leverage the architecture of the operating systems that we're on in the most effective way that we can to stop those threats.
Is it just unlucky that this update was for a Microsoft operating system? Could this have happened to pretty much any other operating system, right? It didn't depend on the update. It was just an unlucky coincidence that it was Microsoft.
I would say that a lot of businesses rely on Microsoft for their operating systems, and I think that's where the number of impacted systems from this update came from.
But what I mean is, the problem was with the update. It wasn't with Microsoft's system. It was with the update. It was faulty.
This was a CrowdStrike issue. And
I did want to. Are you developing any? I want to make sure I got this in. Are you developing any agentless technologies to scan for infrastructure remotely, which could avoid this type of outage in the future?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Are you developing agentless technologies to scan infrastructure remotely, which could avoid this type of outage in the future?
Thank you. We have a number of platforms that we provide to our customers, including attack surface management tools, which can scan without an agent or a sensor in place. But in order to detect and to prevent threats, you need to have that enforcement mechanism in place on the operating system in order to stop that from occurring.
Okay. And just lastly, because I'm going to yield back in a second and let Mr. Swalwell go. Is there now something in place? Because what happened, someone didn't catch it. There was an additional parameter in the channel file before it it went through content interpreter or the validator. Is there now a process, is there something new in place to prevent that from happening again?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.